Hi, this is Susie Hunter with Pine Valley Realty, and today we are in Heber. We are in the famous June Pie shop, and so excited to talk to Tehmi today. Hi, Tehmi. Thanks for being willing to do this with us today.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming by.
Yes.
Thanks for hanging out.
Totally my favorite pies. I have to say, all of them are amazing, but lemon has just, it kills me. I love your lemon pie.
Everybody loves lemon pie. The sour cream lemon, in fact, is our most popular pie.
It?
It's the only pie that doesn't leave the menu. Everything
Really?
else leaves. Every week we change it up except the lemon pie.
Yep. Well, I see why.
Yeah, it's a good one.
And same thing with the hand pies, like the lemon hand pies.
Yeah.
I have a thing for lemon, I guess, but I've tried
No, that's a good one. It's a good thing to
and
have.
lots of them. But
Well, here shortly we're gonna, actually today I have to go pick up from the freezers sour cream lemon ice cream.
really?
A June Pie exclusive ice cream.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to try that for sure.
Yeah, it's pretty good. We're pretty excited about it.
So one of the cool things about June Pie to me is the story behind how Tehmi got started. So where did this whole thing start? Where did you begin the dream?
Oh, the dream. The dream. All I ever wanted to do was be a baker. That's it. And it sometimes felt like it wasn't a big enough dream. You know, I grew up in a household where I could be anything I wanted. I could be anything I wanted. And a baker wasn't enough. Like it couldn't, I needed to be more. And so I always kind of felt like, oh, all I ever really want is a bakery. I want to own a bakery where I know what the locals want, that they can come in and I know that they want a sour cream lemon pie before they even come up to the counter. And it just always stuck with me, but I felt like I was afraid to act on that dream, in that if it became work and I had to do it every day,
It wouldn't
maybe
be fun.
it wouldn't be fun anymore. Maybe I
Right.
wouldn't love it. Maybe I wouldn't want to bake with my kids or just bake in general. But then I realized, and it actually, before even June Pie, I remember, in the second grade, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a baker. I want to own a bakery. In the fifth grade, what do you want to be when you grow up? People wanted to be vets and doctors and lawyers, and I wanted to own a bakery. And then in high school, I had a goal. I was kind of in between. I had just turned 16. We were moving home back here, so I couldn't get a job. It was kind of a short time frame. And I said, well, what if I baked bread or pie and sold them door to door? And my mom was a lot more hesitant than my dad was. My dad said, okay, this is a great learning experience for you.
Let's do this.
So I can remember vividly, I needed to earn like $300 for something. I can't even remember what anymore, but we sat down and we mapped out the price breakdown of every single pie and how much it would cost me to do this and why I was going to do this and this whole thing. And in a month's time, I made the $300 and I sold pie. I got up before school, early morning seminary in the mornings, and I rolled out pie crust. I remember there's a giant bin of balls of pie dough in the freezer, in the deep freezer. And my mom, after about 4 weeks, was like, you're done. My kitchen, I would like my kitchen back. You are a disaster of flour all over the place. You're done. So in the back of my mind, it was kind of always there that I could. And then it just got to a point where I was baking obsessively anyway, that I should just at least try.
For sure.
And
here you are.
here we are. I'm not sure when I decided to officially open June Pie if this is what I thought it would be, and that it would really actually become this.
Right.
Or rather just something I did out of my house, and it was a way to pass the time, but here we are. And
So how long has this shop been open?
almost 4 years. And then we opened almost to the date a year prior to that out of our house. So we are just about to have our 5th birthday here at June Pie.
Yes. I hope a celebration, right?
Yes, there's a celebration in the works, absolutely.
Well, I love the story. I love that as a little girl you dreamed this and you just kept at it. And
Yeah.
that's a story all of us can learn from.
Yeah.
No matter what our dream is, no matter what we want to do, we just have to dream it. We have to be willing to work hard.
Yeah,
Right?
I feel like you can dream all you want.
Exactly. You
But
gotta
the
work.
blood, sweat, and tears and just sheer exhaustion in it, I think for lots of people ask me, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it. I'd be so tired all the time. I really like what I do. Like, I really like. I met with some friends, I don't know, 6 or 7 months ago, and we had to leave early because I had to get up early the next morning, and we couldn't continue hanging out. And I just remember the guy looked at me and said, "Why would you do this? Can't you just hire somebody to do what you're doing? Like, you should be investing in your business growth instead of just the day-to-day." And I was so offended. I was
like, that's not my business.
I was like, hold on, here's the thing. I really, really like being in the kitchen. Like, it's the part that makes all the other stuff that I do worth it, right? Like, I don't love training employees, and I don't love dealing with taxes and bookkeeping and accounting. I don't love any of that. But it makes it bearable if I can bake in the morning.
Right.
And I find a lot of joy in that. And
there you go. That's it.
So it's easier to put all that hard work into something that you love.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you don't have passion and joy doing it, why would you get up every morning at 3:45, right?
I wouldn't do any of it because it would just seem ridiculous, because there's no reason to do it. And I think you can taste that difference in our pies.
Absolutely.
That not only are they handmade and made with all real ingredients and from scratch and all of the above, but they're made with love. They're made with some passion and joy in that, and it's fun in the kitchen. We have a good time doing it.
So that's, we were talking earlier, that's the difference between maybe walking in and buying a pie and having an experience, right?
An experience, yeah.
So how do you provide that experience?
Well, I think usually people don't just eat one pie by themselves. People share pie.
Yes.
And so just in the nature of what we're selling here, it becomes an experience, and it becomes something you share with the people that you love, regardless. And part of what I do, I love that you get to share it, and that it makes you happy, that you get to be the hero. You get to walk into Sunday dinner with a pie that you didn't have to make, that I got to make for you, and it brought happiness, and it makes people happy.
For sure.
I don't know anybody who doesn't love pie.
For sure. I don't either. And if they don't love pie and they try June pie, they're going to change their mind.
We hope so. We hope that there's something about that happens. But it's just all about creating something that is almost a lost art around here. Like, you don't find a lot of people like me who obsessively bake from scratch anymore. And that doesn't, just because you can't find that anymore doesn't mean that it doesn't have a value. That we miss that, and you don't realize how much you miss it until you hopefully have a June pie and go, oh yeah, that's what real butter tastes like.
That's what real butter tastes like, and cream.
I got it, real cream. Okay, I got it now. Yeah. That's what we hope for.
And on top of all that, you're a mom.
I am.
You have to go to soccer practice and all of that stuff.
Yeah,
too.
and usually I have an 18-month-old wrecking havoc around here. So she's becoming a slightly hinder around here. So we have to find babysitters more often than not. But yeah, I feel like before June pie exists, being a mom and a wife exists first. And that's probably the hardest part about June pie, is just the balance of maintaining my kids and their lives and soccer practice and their schedules and piano and all of the above that kids are and here, but also finding value that they like to be here. They like that they can see, it's a visual thing. They can see me come to work. They can see what we produce. They can see customers buying it, and that it wasn't just for naught, right? Like, Dad just goes to work somewhere.
Right.
And he does something, and then he shows back home later, and that's it. And they have no concept of that. And here, they have absolute clarity into what we do every day. Half of them have lived here from 9 to noon every day of their lives. Yeah. And they don't know any different, until they go to school. And then they're at school all day.
I love what you said a minute ago, that you said, when I was growing up, I knew I could be anything. Yeah. And your parents did that for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I feel like you're doing that for your kids. You're showing them you put hard work in, and you put passion and joy in something, and you can do whatever you want to do. And I love that message.
You can, absolutely. I think if you can learn how to work hard and enjoy working hard, because I think people know how to work if they really needed to, and I don't think that that's completely lost. But I think finding the satisfaction in hard work, and that you can have fun doing it, and that just because it's necessary and things like that, but hard work is the ticket into anything. You can get ahead and do anything you want if you're willing to work hard for it. And it's easier if you like it.
That's what I was going to say. It's easier to work hard if you have joy in it, right?
If you like it, yeah.
For sure.
Oh, we like it.
For sure. Well, so one last thing, if you were to give an advice, like you did to the 9 to 11-year-old girls a few weeks ago in Provo, what would be the one thing that you would tell a 9-year-old girl or your 9-year-old self?
Yeah. You just have to try.
I like that.
You just have to try. And you, at least in my world in baking, like, you don't need a special degree. You don't need a special certificate. You don't need to go to this and that to do this. You can learn to be a baker tomorrow in your kitchen. You got to eat 3 times a day. You might as well learn how to do it and try. Because I probably never would have gotten out of obsessively baking pies or cookies or bread or whatever for my family had I not just decided, let's just try.
Let's just
and
give it a go.
if we fail, then I know that it wasn't up for me. Then that's okay. But if you don't try, then you'll never know.
Exactly.
And you'll never know how good it can be on the other side of it. Like, I never would have ever imagined actually like being able to sit right here and talk about packaging pies and covered in flour and wondering like how much whipped cream I have behind my ear. Like, had I not just tried, like, what do we have to lose?
And honestly, I believe that the only time you're really a failure in life is if you don't try it.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to fail a whole bunch of times. You've had to probably learn a whole bunch of things along the way. But if you had never tried it, you would never know.
I would never have known. And somebody asked me a while ago, like, what are your biggest failures at June Pie? And I'm not sure we ever have any big failures. We have pivot moments where, okay, that was bad. Let's try this. Let's try that.
Let's do it again.
Let's do this different way, and that didn't work. They're never really massive failures. Like, we've never had to close up shop. We've never had to do anything really, really drastic. We've never really failed. We've just worked through it to get to the other side. And you know, stressful moments and chaos, things like that. We've just been able to take a minute, work through it, figure out the problem, and assess how to do it differently. And that works for us here.
Yep. It's great. It's a great success. It's a great pattern for life. It's a great way to do it.
Well, we don't know. We don't have any answers. I think if everybody really knew how much we don't know back in the back kitchen, we're like, well, let's try this. Let's see. I don't know. Let's give it a try.
Oh, it's so great. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
So appreciate you talking to us today. And we're going to show you some of her pies in just a minute.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, we've got some.
And remember that the more you give, the more you have in the world. Thanks so much. We'll see you later.